Hi everyone, good evening. Happy Sunday. I hope everyone is having a great happy Sunday. So I have joined for the 10 weeks of Yuktahaar project, and जैसा कि मैंने आपको last time कहा था that what I'm going to do is that for the remaining few days that we have in the project. So from today till the Thursday we have like around 5 to 6 sessions. So इसमें I'm going to discuss all the things that can actually help make TBBD more sustainable, something more of a something that can be blended well with the real events that can happen in the life. So I thought I'll speak about alcohol today because firstly it's the weekend and a lot of people like to go out and have a drink. The second thing is because we also have a festival week right now, so if people want to go next week basically somewhere around Holi and they want to go for a drink and stuff, so I thought that I should just cover about alcohol today. So why alcohol? Is it that ki alcohol पी लेना अच्छा है या नहीं पीना चाहिए? All of those extent I think I've already covered in phase 2, and I've dedicated like 2 to 3 complete sessions on wine and beer, so people can actually go and check that video. But why am I like really I have like taken the effort of actually putting this thing of alcohol in phase 3 in the book itself. I'm reintroducing alcohol. So, very unlike for a health specialist to go out there and say that, reintroduce alcohol. So I'll just, narrate a very small anecdote from my own life. So I was all for 19 years, and I was at that time, basically I started my career as a part-time fitness trainer. I was working in Pune that time, and it was like one of the best state-of-the-art gyms, a very new gym that had come up at that time, around 20 years back. So of course it was a very new thing and all of those things. So we had all the the page 3 Pune people in the gym out there those days, and there was this really middle-aged uncle, and I was this young girl that time, and this middle-aged uncle who was this fatty liver, and cholesterol is high and obviously obese and everything, and I'm just training him, and I'm just like being very sincerely like telling him that no uncle, you should not be drinking, and alcohol se aisa hota hai waisa hota hai and all of that. And then there was this guy who was watching me, another client basically, who was training at the gym. And after that uncle left, he just told me that, do you think that when you say that uncle doesn't know that alcohol is bad, or that uncle doesn't know that he should be, not be drinking, these are things that he already knows. And do you think that by listening to you, he's going to stop drinking? He's just going to go out and grab a drink right away. And that thing like really stayed with me, because I then realized that there is no point giving out information when it's not going to be followed. Therefore in the book also I have mentioned the same thing, that reintroducing alcohol in phase 3 doesn't mean कि alcohol बहुत अच्छा हो गया अब आपके gut के लिए, आपके microbiome के लिए, suddenly it has become like this magic potion जो अब तक phase 1 phase 2 तक तो खराब था लेकिन अब सब कुछ ठीक है. Nothing like that. It is as detrimental as it can be, especially for the gut microbiome, because it just washes away all your great good microbes that are working for you. But something that I realized very early on in my career is that we live in a nation where people love to drink, and in fact India is known to be like drinking away half of the whiskey that is produced worldwide. So that's like quite a huge figure. And so I thought that it's much better I tell people how they can drink better, how they can drink sensibly, than telling them not to drink. So if you are somebody who is thinking of giving up on alcohol, I'll say that's a great idea. There is no way that I'm going out there and advocating ki chalo pee lo, it's not going to be harmful. It is harmful, and we all know that. But if if you are one of those kinds who feels that life is so boring and I'm not just the person who can stay without it for the rest of my life, then that's also fine. I mean, acceptable. And for those people, this is the session for today. It is not the session to actually encourage people to start drinking, but if you're somebody who really has to drink, if you must drink, then you better drink it right. So this is what it is all about. So what is about drinking right or drinking better? a very important point is about self-discipline. The first important point is about having a ritual. रैंडम ड्रिंकिंग एपिसोड्स नहीं होने चाहिए. आप अपने रिचुअल्स खुद बनाइए. मैं हर सैटरडे को पीऊंगा या पीऊंगी, मैं सिर्फ संडे को पीऊंगा या पीऊंगी, या फिर मैं वेडनेसडे को, या वट एवर द डे ऑफ द वीक इट इज. बट यू नीड टू हैव अ रिचुअल. इट कुड बी once in a month, it could be once fortnightly. I have few clients who have this ritual that they drink only when they go out on a holiday. If they are like wherever they live, then they don't drink. But अगर वो holiday पे जाते हैं, then they like to drink. So you can have any ritual which you feel is acceptable to you, which you feel works for you, which you feel can go with your frame of mind, your lifestyle. But it is important you have a ritual, and वो ritual सिर्फ बनाने के लिए नहीं है, उस ritual को follow भी करना है. So the minimum, the best that, the maximum that you can do is of course once in a week. I will never ever say that, go out and drink twice in a week or even more than that. Once in a week is fine, but if you can make it once in fortnight, once in a month, or when you holiday, or when there's festival, when it's your birthday, any ritual जो आपको सही लगता है, but you have to have a ritual and you got to follow it. Ritual बनाने से क्या होता है? Ritual बनाने से पहला बात ये होता है कि ये जो random episodes होते हैं ड्रिंकिंग के, कि किसी ने फोर्स किया तो मुझे पीना पड़ा, मन तो नहीं था पीना पड़ा, बहुत दुखी था, दिल टूट गया था इसीलिए पीना पड़ा, रिजल्ट खराब हो गए इसीलिए पीना पड़ा. ये सब जो हम रीजंस just to these are reasons, these are not even reasons, these are just excuses that we give to our own selves. And I would say that we are just lying to our own selves, because we all know that drinking does not solve any problem of our life. पीने से ना तो आपकी गर्लफ्रेंड वापस आएगी, बॉयफ्रेंड भी, चाहे कोई whatever gender, but पीने से ना तो कभी रिजल्ट अच्छा होता है, कुछ भी नहीं होता है. So basically this whole thing of whatever it is, romanticized partly by Bollywood also probably, but you need to tell your mind, to accept the truth, and the truth is just this, that you just want to drink. And वो जो want to drink है, it is not because of any particular event in your life कि ये हो गया तो इसलिए पीना पड़ रहा है. It cannot be that. It can be simply because of the fact that you like to drink, which is fine. You got to accept that, and then you got to make a ritual around it. As I said, it could be anything, maybe something like once in a year on my birthday, or it can be like every holiday, or once in a week, or whatever it is. But it is important that you have a ritual so that you avoid all of these emotional drinking sessions, or the sessions where you feel that you have been forced to drink because you have friends around. In fact, when you have a ritual, people who really care about you, your inner circle, your close friends, they also know about your ritual. And if they're really your close friends, and if they're really people who love you, they will not even force you to drink and break your ritual for that matter. The second point is about always knowing that whenever you drink, the drink is something that you are consuming. You are the one who is consuming alcohol. You should not allow the alcohol to consume you. That is so important. That is so important because जो संयम हम बोलते हैं, the kind of a self control, where people know कि कितना कहाँ तक क्या करना है, that becomes, food becomes such a great starting point to inculcate that discipline, to inculcate that attitude of self-control, of self-balance, of self-discipline, because food is like one of the biggest temptations for most of the people. I'm just not talking about alcohol, but it could be cake for somebody, it could be donut for somebody, it could be just pizza or pasta for somebody. But you got to know that eating everything in moderation, in balance, or right now we're talking about alcohol. So even when you're drinking alcohol, you got to know, you firstly need to understand कि आप पी क्यों रहे हैं. Why am I drinking? Does it make me feel nice that I'm in an evening, I'm out with my friends and it just makes me enjoy the evening? Then you got to just drink it to a level where you actually enjoy the evening and not get so wasted that everyone around you also just kinds of tries to figure out that why did he drink in the first place. So you got to understand कि आप पीते क्यों है, what is the reason. Do you just want to have a nice time? Then you got to ensure that you only drink to that level where you are actually making sure that you're really the evening is all about friends, music, or whatever it is. If it's about a say festival like Holi is coming up, then at least you're enjoying the festival. You don't have to really get wasted, and that can come only with the third point, which is about drinking slow. Drinking slow is very, very important, because jab hum whenever you drink alcohol, a lot of these people I know, they just guzzle down a bottle completely, or a glass, or these shots are there. So these are things that you got to avoid, because the best way to consume your alcohol is to sip on it very slowly. So you enjoy the evening, you absorb the evening, you absorb things around. It's just not about finishing a glass. It's just not about just going over it in a way that it's not going to, you are going to get that tomorrow again. So ये एक ही बार का इवेंट नहीं है कि आज ही मिल रहा और कल नहीं मिलेगा. So we need to understand that drinking slow is the wisest way to consume your alcohol in a way that you also enjoy that occasion, जिस भी occasion में आप ये drink ले रहे हैं. So drinking slow. And what is the meaning of slow? The meaning of slow according to the scientific literature is कि आप जो 1 hour है उसमें एक drink ले. So basically you take one drink and you continue that drink for the next 1 hour. So you sit with that drink. We always fantasize, we always not fantasize, but we always like look upon people from the West, and we always want to ape their habits. But people in the West always they sit with their drink and they just take that one glass and they continue that drink for the entire evening. They don't get that sloshed, जिसको हम लोग यहाँ पे बोलते हैं कि oh man, I just got sloshed today. Those are not things that you really find in the West. They sit with their drink, they have it along with their dinner. So they don't even go out like at 8 or 9 in the evening and drink on an empty stomach and then come home at 12 or 1 completely wasted. That is not the way what they do. So if you really have to really follow the West, then I think this is one aspect that we can take from them, which is about taking your drinks not on an empty stomach. तो या तो आप उसको अपने खाने के साथ लीजिए, अपने मील के साथ लीजिए. Which meal is the best? I am sure by now you guys know lunch is the best meal. जो आप अपने अल्कोहल को आप अपने लंच के साथ रख सकते हैं. Why lunch? Because as I have been saying, lunch is the time which is 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. That is the time when our body's digestive metabolic capacity is great, which also means that is detoxification capacity is great. So this is the time when of course it works best. And that is why, like I've written in my book also, what works best is then probably just a Sunday brunch, because you can have your food along with it and you can have a drink along with it, and so it works well. So not more than one drink every hour, so you sip on it slowly. The second thing is, if you are wanting to grab another drink, another glass, then ensure that you first drink water. तो पहले आपने जैसे एक ग्लास आपका फिनिश हुआ, you consumed it, you took your time, you drank it slow, and now you got to drink water before you go and grab another drink. Why? Because alcohol is dehydrating. Alcohol dehydrating होता है, and if you simultaneously also put your focus on water, then you will not be feeling very dry in the morning, in the next morning. Like जो hangover होता है ना, जो dry mouth and the throbbing headache and those kind of things is something that is something जो आपको नहीं face करना पड़ेगा if you also ensure that your water intake is nice when you are drinking your alcohol. So before going for another glass of alcohol, you need to have water between your drinks. So water becomes like the drink spacers. These are like, I call them the drink spacers. So you can space water between your drinks. And how much water? Again, the literature says that for every 30 ml of the drink that you have, you need to consume 500 ml of water. 500 ml कितना होता है? Around 300 ml is one normal glass in an Indian household. So that will give you an idea. So drink that water. Once you've taken that water in, only then go and reach out for another shot of another glass of alcohol. So that is the third point. And the fourth point is about the next day. So whenever you drink, if you drink say in the afternoon or somewhere towards later in the evening, then the next day what you need to do, as I said, alcohol is dehydrating, so the main focus should be on rehydrating yourself the next day. तो rehydration में क्या क्या हो सकता है? A lot of things are there. You can go have sharbats, a lot of liquids are there, soups, anything which is again lighter and easy to digest, because next day it's not only about rehydration but it's also about detoxification. Liver is the organ which focuses on removing all the toxins. So when you take alcohol, there's like little more work for the liver to do, and you just want to help out your liver. If you make detoxification your priority the next day, particular कुछ foods हैं special which help in liver detoxification, which help in aiding the liver function, and these foods I've mentioned in my book in chapter 7. And these foods are, number one is black raisins. Black raisins is something which is amazing in liver detoxification. The second is sugar cane. The third is pomegranate, जो fruit है, अनार जिसको बोलते हैं हिंदी में, English में pomegranate है. So these three, and of course then there is also a drink called Neera. I do not know if a lot of people know about Neera, because Neera is usually a drink which we find more in the west and the south of India. But Neera again is excellent for liver detoxification. So अब इनको use कैसे करना है, हम कैसे किशमिश को, और and I'm talking about the black raisins here. So I'm specifically talking about the black ones, not the brown ones. These black ones are little lesser popular than the dark brown ones, but you do get them if you find them. So the black, and in fact the seedless ones, the seedless black में भी दो आता है, one is seeded and the other is seedless. The black seedless ones are the ones which are the best when it comes to detoxification of the entire body and of course the liver. So how are you going to actually use these foods the next day? So in chapter 10, as I said, like chapter 10 is so much elaborate when it comes to the practical application of TBBD, and I'm just going to tell you, it's in page 303, so you need to go and check this page number 303. I don't know if you can read it here, but I have mentioned this is a hangover remedy plan only for phase 3, and phase 3 is the rest of your life. So which means that this is something I have given only to ensure that if you are somebody who really likes to drink and who wants to drink and who must drink, then it makes sense that you at least drink wisely, so that you do the minimal damage to your health, and probably I think to the peace and sanity to everyone around you as well. Okay, so I am going to take the questions. Can we have, so Ritu .jjwl is asking, can we have green tea through all the 3 phases? Yes, you can have green tea through all the 3 phases. Tea or coffee, basically tea or coffee mein there is no restriction in any of the phase. I am blessed 1234 is asking, can we eat sweet after meal like laddu, like traditional dessert? Yes, so you can have your sweets with your meal, after your meal. Agar aap with meal khate hain, then it has to be lunch, because I've been saying that lunch is the meal jahan pe ye sabse hum wholesome and substantial. We try to make the lunch the most wholesome and the most substantial. So if suppose for example, let's take the example of say a kheer. So if you're wanting to have kheer, you can choose to have it with your lunch, or you can even choose to have it after lunch, which is say 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. So this is about the timing. I'll go ahead and tell about the phases as well. If you are in phase 1 and phase 2, then your kheer has to be made either with nut milk or with water. Like we are sharing a few ragi payasam. We have shared a ragi payasam recipe reel in my Instagram page, so you can go and check that. So that's a dessert, that's a sort of a pudding that you can make without using any kind of dairy. But if you're in phase 3, then of course the cow's milk, the dairy milk is also allowed. So then your kheer can be made with anything that you prefer. Water or dairy or nut milk, basically whatever you like. So this question is basically, again, the ingredients depends on the phases, and the timings is either with lunch or post lunch, which is like 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Is soda okay with alcohol, or only water should be taken? So the best is water. Kamlesh, student of life, is asking. The best is water, because soda is also a carbonated drink. So soda जो है वो soda पानी का काम नहीं करेगा. Here I am asking you to have water with your drinks and also in between your drinks, because your body needs to be hydrated, and if you do that, you will see that you don't feel that kind of a hangover the next day, and you will also realize that you enjoy your evening better. If you really have आपने पहले अगर हमेशा से आप ड्रिंक करते आए हैं, जब आपने पानी पे फोकस नहीं किया है, एंड नाउ व्हेन यू डू दिस हैबिट, you yourself will realize that even on that evening, that afternoon, whenever you're drinking, you will realize that it really makes a change to how you're feeling as well, how much you're enjoying that drink, how much you're enjoying that evening. So you cannot replace water with soda, in short, I will say that. And guys, it's much better if you can use the question mark icon in the bottom of the screen, because it becomes difficult for me to search for all your questions. So I'll just take the ones which are there in the icon. Okay, so Mekhla Bhat is asking, for sweet and dessert, is it sugar or jaggery? So there is no restriction. You got to read the FAQs of chapter 10. So in the FAQs of chapter 10, I hope, Mekhla Bhat, you are having my book, because there is no such bias for sweet or jaggery. ऐसा कुछ ये नहीं है कि स्वीट बहुत खराब है और जैगरी बहुत अच्छा है. अगर आप सब कुछ जैगरी से बनाएंगे, then even jaggery can prove to be bad to you, because you're just doing excess of jaggery in that case. So what I'm trying to say is that what is important is that you rotate between the sweeteners that you use. Number one is, of course, we don't want to use any kind of artificial sweeteners. Number two, the natural ones which are there. Which are the natural ones? So honey is there, jaggery is there, and the khansari sugar is there, which is the unrefined sugar, which is the normal sugar crystals only, but they are the unrefined ones. So they have not been polished like your complete white crystals, and the crystals are also irregular in shape and size. So they are not the ones which are completely refined. They are called khansari or khan, or simply if you go on Amazon, you will find it by the name of unrefined sugar. So you can go for these, you can go for mishri in certain recipes. So go for these natural sugar varieties, depending of course on the recipe, kisme kya jata hai. But what is important is that you rotate between them. So that is exactly what I have written in chapter 10 in the FAQs, that आप हफ्ते में 3 दिन आप honey ले सकते हैं, twice in a week you can take jaggery, and then once in a week you can take the unrefined khansari sugar, and then once in a week you can take the mishri. So in that sense, rotate between the different kinds of sugars, because it is not about one being better than the other, but it is more about not having excess of any one kind. Because when you start having excess of only one kind of sugar, whether it's jaggery or honey or anything, you have only one kind of microbes flourishing more in your body, which is not a very good scenario when we think of diversity in terms of our internal ecosystem. So always think of diversity, always think of variety in terms of all of these natural sugars that I have told you. Is green tea or black coffee is compulsory? So green tea, black coffee, anything that you want to have, both are fine. There is no restriction in tea and coffee in any of the phases. In fact, I have done a complete video on tea and coffee in phase 2. तो आप लोग प्लीज जाइए and ये वीडियो को देखिए. ये वीडियोस कहाँ पे हैं? So if you just go on any video on my page, जो भी मैं ये lives करती हूँ, whatever lives I do, they are all posted on the page. So you just click on any one live video on the page, like the video which is posted on the page, and on the bottoms of the screen you will find that there's a tab, you know, with the hashtag 10 weeks of Yuktahaar. You click on that and the entire series of all the videos will will pop up actually. So usme aap jaiye and it's written, the headlines are there, the topics are there, so you can just click on all about tea, all about coffee and those things, and please go through the video. There is no restriction in tea and coffee in either of the phases. Green tea lena hai ya black coffee lena hai ya black tea lena hai. These are all fine. It all depends on your preference, what you want to have. We of course have restrictions in terms of timings, that which is a better timing to have tea, कब नहीं लेना चाहिए, कब लेना चाहिए. When it comes to even the green tea or black tea or coffee or whatever, then which is the right quality of these things, what is the right quality of tea, what is the right quality of coffee, the powder that you should take. These are things that I've already addressed in that video, and you should go there and check that. Okay, so Sayani Anjali, any specific herbal tea for asthmatic problem? I think you can go for the tea which Sayani, you can just go and read the book, the chapter 10, where I have given recipes of herbal teas, and there are certain teas where I have written the benefits, as it removes congestion, it removes sinus, it removes inflammation. So wherever you see the benefits written, because I have written benefits also along with those herbal teas in chapter 10, the recipes and the benefits both are there. So you can pick up the recipe which says that it removes sinus, congestion and inflammation, as I said, because that is also going to help in case of asthma, and it's really going to improve. Also, you can check for recipes which I've specially mentioned regarding benefits of allergy. So even those things, like any recipe which says that it benefits for allergy, those are the recipes that you can pick up from the book and you can start implementing. Okay guys, thank you so much for joining me on a Sunday, and I'm going to see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Tomorrow actually I'm going to talk about the Holi festival, basically covering the festival in all the festivals, but because this is Holi coming up, I thought I can speak maybe only about Holi, but in general it's going to cover all about festival eating and also about feast eating. So basically, what about weddings and what about some parties and get-togethers? So basically, how to eat right when there is a festival or when there is a wedding or feast kind of a thing. So that will be the topic for tomorrow. And of course, agar weddings and festivals or feast mein alcohol bhi uska part hai. So today you know what to do with alcohol. So that part is already done, and what we are going to do tomorrow is only cover the food part. So do join me tomorrow and I'll see you. Thank you.